Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Baldr Sky, Dive 1. For some reason, I'm taking a look at Discord and it does not enable streamer mode automatically. It's so weird. Why is that? I don't know what's going on with Discord right now, but I saw that, so I enable it manually right now, so you guys will not be hearing, me when I get a message anymore. But yeah, this is the third day of me actually playing or recording an episode after I'm just finishing up dinner. And yeah, I kind of like the option of just being able to record anytime. And I guess, like I said on the previous episode, the flexibility of just doing my routine at a different time set as long as I'm still doing them. But yeah, I have been kind of pushing myself a bit too much at the gym today. Well, not just today, but like throughout the whole week, because after I got my wisdom tooth removed, I wasn't really going to the gym for about a week. So I gotta make up for lost time by adding an extra day to my gym week. But yeah, it's been kind of kicking my ass since I haven't really been, training for the most part. But yeah, let me just do the last episode recap before we start off the episode. So in the last episode, we finished off Nanoha's route. It was interesting, but at the same time, I really don't think that all of these routes kind of give you closure on any part of the big plot lines of the story, guys. Like, they're nice, and they do tell some new info somewhat, but I don't know. I feel like judging the game or basing the game based on the two routes that I did, you can kind of know that, you can kind of feel that they're incomplete routes, right? This is one of those games where you have to play till you get like the true route or whatever, and then you form your own opinion, because the routes that we did, even though they're not bad, they're also not very good as a standalone. So yeah, we finished off chapter 13, right, like I said, and what happened was Assembler basically injected itself into Nanoha's body and making her body into like a bioplant, which is basically she's a walking nuke. That's the thing that comes to mind when just talking about Nanoha, about what happened to her. But yeah, we also saw Naoki at the end of the confrontation because we wanted to rewrite Assembler, right? We needed the help of our dad, and our dad got into contact with Ansera and also Aki, and they were gonna rewrite the program for the Assembler. And yeah, we had to defend ourselves against Goat since they were also trying to look for Assembler. And yeah, Dominion also came into play at the end too, after we defended against a couple of the Goat attacks, including Chinatsu, which she got killed by Naoki at the end. Naoki, I kind of knew there was something off about him, but even though we kind of know that he's not a good person in Nanoha's route, we still don't know whether or not it's actually because he's a bad person per se, like as is, or if he truly does have some sort of DID that makes him change personalities or whatever. Because at the end of the route, once we beat him, it kind of felt like he reverted to his default state, and he just put a bombshell at the end that he was the one that killed Nanoha's dad and mom by sending them like bombs or whatever. So that was kind of random, a bit anticlimactic that they kind of put that at the end of the route. But I guess it kind of follows the same the reasoning, or the what do you call it, not the reasoning, it kind of follows the pattern of what this game has been doing. It kind of gives you tiny bits of information on each route that you don't know from all the other routes. I just don't know how long it's gonna keep doing that. At some point it's gonna get pretty annoying, right? But yeah, at the end we basically killed Naoki, and Assembler still activated because that his body dying actually was the trigger that triggered Assembler. And we yeah, we merged together, but Deus Ex Machina happened and Agent basically saved us. I still don't like that plot point. I'm gonna keep reiterating this, but I really do not like Agent being part of the story. And the fact that she's basically an almighty god that's able to change everything. If the revelation that this is a simulation, it makes a lot more sense that she's able to do so. But if this is truly the real world and she's able to influence the real world somehow, they gotta have a really, really strong explanation for me to be able to accept what she just did on Nanoha's route. But yeah, this is exactly after Nanoha's route is done. So we're just gonna try to get to a different route here. Near battle scene. I guess I'm gonna have to switch, or I'm gonna have to skip here. Rain, who is she again? This is a new choice. So maybe at this point in time, I can actually go to this spot. Maybe I can actually go to this spot now, since there's no choice here before. So I'm gonna say Rain, right? Oh yeah, what's with me? This is Rain Kirishima, my partner and subordinate. So at this point in time, we're basically not an amnesiac anymore. This being a simulation, or, you know, the fact that this is a simulation of just Ko, makes a lot more sense though in my opinion, since otherwise the whole scenario about... Oh, what the fuck? Okay, this is Chinatsu. We actually went the other route. I'm guessing there's actually going to be another selection there at some point. Because if we don't remember Rain, I assume it's just gonna keep making us go to the bottom area. Interesting. She holds out her robotic arm for me. I casually take it and stand up. Wrecks up in smoke. Lifeless massive constructions as far as the eye can see. So I'm going to assume that right now we are not having any sort of memory issue. So we're basically the old Ko, the mercenary Ko. Maybe? But I guess we'll see. A tracer bullet slices through the dark sky above and then explodes. And the resulting flash blinds me for a second. No, we're still an amnesiac. I don't know what IFFs are. Where am I? What am I doing here? I have too many questions to ask. Okay, we're still high school, or not high school, I guess, but student Co.
Rain, 今俺は何をしていたんだ?
何とおっしゃいますと、ミッションの真っ最中ですが、ドレクスラー機関を追って。
I'm gonna take a look at the chart real quick. Try to zoom in here. Yeah, dialogue choice Rain makes me go there. Haven't cleared Nanoha's route. Maybe the other dialogue choice actually makes me go to the right side. But now that I'm on Chinatsu, might as well. Reason why I'm thinking this is Chinatsu is because it's red. Because, you know, so far everything has been color-coded. Like Nanoha is green, Rain is yellow, and then this is red. That name feels somewhat familiar, but I rack my brain to no avail. I can see her gasping through the face window.
ああ、自分のことはわかる。レインのこともわかる。でも他のことがすっぽり抜けてる。
深刻な症状のようですね。
Rain looks at me with unease in her eyes, but I have no idea how to respond. I'm gonna test it out real quick though. I'm gonna test it real quick and see if the other dialogue choice actually propels me to a different route. Crap, I just can't remember her name at all.
今まで何してたの？
No, it doesn't seem like it actually propels me in a different route.
応答がないので心配しました。どうやらご無事だったようですね。
No, yeah, it doesn't. Alright. So there's gotta be another unlock choice. So this must be another forest route.
かな？
So far, I feel like I'm going the route as preordained as the game dictates. So they always make me go through the routes. So basically, I have no real free will or free control of the routes, and my selection doesn't really do anything.
警報、カチューシャです。回避を。間に合わない。捨てて。
Rain's metal frame knocks me to the ground. A moment later, my body is rocked by an explosion.
カチューシャ？
A shower of dirt and rock rains on me. The shockwaves make my body creak, and pain seeps through the metal.
敵が接近しています。ひとまずこの場を離れましょう。
A rocket lands close by and wipes out my scream. The explosion threatens to swallow me whole. A moment later, I escape the flames. My legs spontaneously perform an evasive action.
注意。シュミクラムの扱い方は？
それは大丈夫だ。とにかくここがヤバいのは理解した。脱出しよう。
やあ。
先導してくれ、レイン。
ではついてきてください。状況を説明します。
ああ、
ここはネットの戦場。周囲は施設の爆発に巻き込まれて先ほどまで混沌していました。推測ですが、その際の衝撃で記憶の一部に障害が起きたのではないかと。
なるほどな。今の俺の脳みそは穴開きのチーズってことか。
Who am I quoting again? I can't remember, but that's basically what it feels like. Speaking those words aloud makes it clear just how serious the situation is.
ともかくここは撤退しましょう。
いや、それが良さそうだ。
敵のアンカーが仕掛けられていますが、ここから南方に数仮想キロ移動すれば離脱妨害の範囲から脱出できます。
ネットから出るにはそこを目指すしかないわけだな。
はい。
Rain and I proceed to dash through the empty structure, but the machine voice just wouldn't read out the message we were waiting for.
まだ離脱はできないのか？
おかしいですね。すでに目標地点にはたどり着いていますが、調査してみます。
I see Rain close her eyes in the face window. A moment later, they're open again.
エリアスキャン完了。理由が判明しました。どうやらアンカーをかけている張本人が後方からぴったりつけてきているようです。
目視はできないか。
こちらのセンサーでは捉えています。
となると戻って叩くしかないか。
注意。索敵したデータをそちらに送ります。
The data is displayed in front of my eyes.
なんだよ、こりゃ一体。
The map showing a massive amount of viruses. Do we seriously have that many enemies on our trail?
叩くにしては敵の数が多すぎます。成功法では勝ち目がありません。
I forgot what we did in the first route. I think we kinda jumped out or something, right? Or we stand our ground.
勝ち目がないって。じゃあこのまま距離を引き離して逃げ切るしか。
I don't remember though.
無理です。敵はこちらを高速で追尾してきています。速力で振り切ることは不可能でしょう。
スタンフレアはあったな、レイン。
やあ。
Rain raises her other hand, and a large energy weapon materializes in it.
手は一つしかないな。
ええ、スタン使用後、その隙に全速力で敵前衛をすり抜け、奥に隠れているサポート機を破壊。
そのまま反対方向へと脱出するぞ。
計画ステップ接近。
I look up and see a tidal wave of viruses rushing toward us.
とにかく生きて帰りましょう。優先目標は敵サポート。他の敵を相手にしている余裕はありません。
I'm guessing we actually did the same thing in the first route. We're just a lot more confident in knowing what to do.
ああ承知。
行きます。
I
スタン
think
フレア投射。
I think before in the original route, Rain was a bit apprehensive about us also staying, so she was gonna like do it alone while we try to run away. I think she was the one that was gonna act as bait. For a moment, the world is engulfed by a bright, milky veil. The light fades away to reveal a wave of viruses that are rooted to their spots.
突っ切りますよ。注意。
おう。
相対速度を速すぎます。減速してください。
We ignore the mechanical voice, choosing to accelerate instead, and rush into the storm of viruses. I keep running. I can hear the wind howling, and I can see virus after virus flying past right by my simulacrum. If I crash into one and fall, a whole bunch of them will surely pile onto me before I can get back up. I'm letting out a war cry before I know it. As the throng of viruses suddenly ends, we jump out into a vacant lot we passed through earlier.
注意。
ああこっちは無事。それよりあれが目標か。
ええ、あれが敵のサポートです。早く破壊しないとウイルスが復活します。
As I listen to her shout, I fix my sights on the virus. Okay. As soon as that happened, I just get hit.
ドローン。デクノボー。いけます。
Jesus.
へいはっいざへい。ほら
God damn it.
どうですか。
こっちだ。へい
Okay.
へい。
As long as I don't move there, that's actually fine.
いざへい。当たれ。へい。
着射出。
へいはっいざへい。当たれ。へい。
Not dead yet?
練習通りです。
I wish my attacks do more damage. My combo just don't do enough damage, I feel.
離脱妨害解除プロセス起動。
Even though I'm kinda doing them pretty correctly now.
退避します。飛び降りてください。
やあ。
妨害解除。離脱可能です。
レイン。
ログアウトプロセス起動。
Can't you forcefully log me out? I feel like it's weird that she had to say that. Okay, that's the first chapter.
それじゃあやだよ。いいのかな。
My chest is being squeezed hard. I assume everything past this point is new. There we go. I'm kinda... I appreciate games that actually do this more, actually. The fact that we get a whole different, like, scenario. So, the only common ground or common route we had with Rain's route was basically just the first, what? 30 minutes? Wait, it's called flashback. Oh, it's called the same thing. Interesting. It's called the same thing, though. Huh. My chest is being squeezed hard. Someone's embracing me from the back and holding me tight. Going by these slender arms, it has to be a girl. Not to mention, I can feel something soft pressing up against my back.
やめろよ、千夏。苦しいって。
Why is this girl so hug happy? I don't particularly mind, but it is embarrassing. And I don't know about being so clingy with a guy who's not your boyfriend. Wait, who's Chinatsu anyway? The girl's hand suddenly put a lot more pressure on my chest, making me cough out the air in my lungs. The air around here smells stale. I see dimly lit concrete walls when I open my eyes.
注意。気がつきましたか。
A woman's face peers into mine. She has her arms wrapped around me and is dragging me along as she walks. I'm guessing because our brain is not as damaged in this route, we're probably not gonna go to Noise office or Noise hospital or whatever you call it.
えーっと
I get dragged another 2 meters as I try to figure out how to respond. Right. I was fighting in a virtual battlefield a minute ago.
注意。もし動けるようであれば、立っていただけると助かりますが。
ああ
I hastily get up and look around.
ここはどこなんだ
急増のダイブポイント。我々はここから仮想空間に没入していました。
ここからゲリラ戦でも仕掛けていたって言うんじゃないよな
Rain shoots a glance behind her. Now that my eyes have adapted to the dark, I see a few silhouettes.
あ
Over there, a few people are sitting on the floor with their backs to the wall, and there's a bunch of portable equipment lying about.
みんな、注意が今回の作戦のために斡旋業者から紹介を受けたプロの傭兵たちです。構造体の爆破に巻き込まれ、全員 KIA。残念ながらフラットラインは確認済みです。
そうか
Even as Rain tells me the cold hard truth, she looks at me with a worried expression. She's probably looking out for me.
急ぎましょう、注意。急いで撤収しなければ危険です。
I mean, mercenaries already knew what they were, working for, right? They knew they were gonna die at some point. We take our leave without even saying our goodbyes to the remains of the comrades I can't even recognize. Heck, I don't even know any of their faces or names, because they basically died before the start of the game. Cold air rushes in the moment the hatch opens up, carrying with it an awful stench and the hustle and bustle of the outside. Since my eyes had gotten used to the dark, they're blinded for a moment by all the bright lights. As my vision gradually returns, I see a lit up skyscraper in front of me, neon signs of all colors at its bottom.
行きますよ、注意。
Rain drags me into the crowd. When my eyes adapt to the city lights, everything they've been hiding comes into view.
ひどいもんだな
Old, dilapidated high-rises with their walls littered in graffiti. Trash strewn about all over the place, and a crowd of dead men walking. It's a sight that embodies the concept of decay. Looking at it reminds me of something.
ここは鈴代市か
I actually don't know whether or not Suzushiro is a real city in Japan. Maybe when I'm there, well, before I go there, let me try to look it up and see if it's an actual city. I don't know why they use Suzushiro as a base for, like the slums in this game. Maybe it's an actual city that's not very well regarded in Japan.
ええ、鈴代市。GU 直轄のポリスです。
2 or 3 generations ago, the world was consolidated under the banner of the global union. The nations of the past became provinces, and national militaries became provincial ones. That was supposed to have put an end to our long history of warfare, but it turned out to be wishful thinking even with the world unified. Civil wars and rebellions were rife, and armed conflicts among various regional blocks became commonplace. Blocks can be typed like that? Interesting. Even right before we were born, this province had been engulfed in a massive war. To us, it came to be known as simply the war.
俺の親父も確か大戦に参加したんだいや大戦が終わっても傭兵を続けていて
ええ、そうです。お父様の名前は思い出せませんか？
Yeah, AG?
英二親父の名前は門倉英二
An image of him clad in uniform comes to mind. For some reason, it doesn't elicit very pleasant feelings. After the war, heavy restrictions were placed on provincial armies everywhere, and they were downsized and merged into police organizations like the City Defense Force here in Suzushiro, CDF. But the demand for troops never really went away. Private military companies rapidly rose to prominence and plugged the gap the armies had left behind. It was almost like our society had regressed to the 18th century. And at this point, PMCs and their contractors make up the majority of the world's military operations.
レインは 俺の親父がどうしているのか知っているのか？
What are PMCs again? Man, these abbreviations are gonna kill me. I know at some point I was able to remember what the hell PMC stood for.
ええ、ご健在ですよ。あの方は今も傭兵を続けていて。
Rain begins to speak, but her words are wiped out by the roar of a VTOL flying past.
あの機体どこかで見た気がする。確かあれって軍用機。
ええ、でも安心してください。ここでは日常の光景ですから。
そうなんだろうな。俺もさっきまでネットで戦争していたんだもんな。俺の親父はまだ傭兵から足を洗っていない？
はい。記憶が戻ればお父様のことも思い出すはずです。
Rain doesn't seem very comfortable with the topic, but I can kind of see why. Even now, with my memories all jumbled, just thinking about him gets me irritated. I seriously doubt we're on the best of terms.
行きましょう。宿の手配が済みましたから。
そうか。っていつの間に手続きを？
私たちは24時間ネットにつながっていますから。
With that curt answer, Rain starts walking away.
私たちは24時間つながってるか。
Something about Rain's words bothers me. I think I've heard them before.
私たちはいつもつながっている。
Who said that? Saying it out loud sends a small pang through my chest. I'm guessing that's agent, but it's blue text. Blue text means it's my sentence.
注意。どうしましたか？
I believe it's also Naoki's.
ああ、今行く。
I follow Rain and walk into the nightlife. After roaming the filthy streets for a while, we walk into a cheap corner hotel.
いいセンスしているな、本当に。
In the middle of our trashy room sits a double bed with slightly dirty sheets. Only a glass door stands between the room and the bath, and the closet's filled with toys that are the furthest thing from wholesome. To top it all off, there's a set of contraceptives and drugs by the pillows. If this is supposed to be a mimic of a love hotel, I've never actually been to one. But I do think that love hotels aren't as dirty, I guess. I don't know. I've never been to one though, so don't quote me on that. I mean, I've never even been to one here in Indonesia too.
本当にこんな部屋に泊まるのか？
Not just in Japan, but I can assume that the ones in Indonesia are actually much worse than in Japan.
申し訳ありません。この界隈にはこんなホテルしかないそうで。それにシティで一番プライバシーを保証してくれるのはこの手のホテルだったりしますから。
As she speaks, she sticks her hands between a piece of furniture and the wall. When she takes it back out, I see it holding a tiny apparatus, a self-propelled spy robot.
ですから、盗撮用の機材を潰してしまえば安全です。
盗撮を警戒。こんな部屋だからか。それとも。
おそらく私たちの身元は発覚していないはずです。無論油断はできませんが。
先の戦闘と俺たちの関係。明るみになれば何のお咎めもなしというわけにはいかないだろうな。
All of this makes me sigh, and I sink into a couch placed in the room.
今お茶を入れますから。
Rain takes off her coat and heads to the kitchen. Even the slightest of movements makes her beautiful hair sway from side to side. As it does, I catch a glimpse of her shapely behind. She's surprisingly thick for someone with such a slender build. Man, been a while since Ko is like this again. I wonder if I'm being influenced by where we are. I'm becoming all too painfully aware that I'm alone in the room with a woman. I have some nerve to be thinking about butts in this situation, even if I do say so myself.
落ち着いてください。ここなら当面は大丈夫ですから。
Blissfully unaware of the thoughts running through my head, Rain offers me a cup of tea.
ああ、ありがとう。
I receive the cup and take a sip. The hot tea calms my nerves a little.
言うのが遅れたけど、さっきはありがとう。
注意。
突然のことで気が動転しまくってた。レインがいなかったらどうなっていたことか。
当然のことをしたまでです。私はサポートですから。
Oh yeah, Rain was always acting as my support. Still,
俺はあそこに何をしに行ってたんだ。そもそもあそこは何の施設だったんだ。
a sudden head-splitting pain derails my train of thought.
注意。
大丈夫。ちょっと頭痛がしただけだから。
As I reassure her, I press my hurting temples with my fingers. I can feel my body juices rise up to my throat.
と疲れているのでしょう。今日は休んでください。
Rain puts her hand on my shoulder.
明日になったら心当たりの医療機関に案内します。答えは周囲の記憶に眠っていますから。
So we're gonna go to Noi again. God damn it. Even though we've already strayed from the branch, we're still gonna see Noi.
しかしレインが知っていることを少しでも話してくれないか。もったいぶらずに教えてくれよ。
もったいぶっているわけではありません。
何か隠す理由でもあるのか。
一度に聞かせても注意を混乱させるだけです。信じてください。私は注意を心配して言っているのです。
She's giving me such an earnest look. You couldn't look like this if you were acting. Huh. Not really. Anyone can do anything if they, if they lie to themselves. Whatever other reason she may have, there's no doubt she's doing this out of concern for me. You clearly have not met someone that's really good at lying yet, Ko. In that case,
一つだけお願いしてもいいかな。
はい、注意。
その注意ってのをやめないか。注意って呼ばれるとどうも落ち着かない気分なんだ。まだ記憶が混乱してるせいかさ。
え？
それに他人行儀な感じだしな。
はあ。
her tense expression gives way to one of utter surprise. But this makes me feel a million times more at ease.
いささか承服しかねるのですが、でも仕方ありませんね。では記憶が戻るまでの間だけ。
頼むよ、レイン。
やあ、こうさん。
Despite seeming somewhat uncomfortable with it, Rain utters my name. I can't sleep. Now with all this crap on my mind, well, anyone could have seen it coming in this situation. But as much as I hate to admit it, what's bothering me most right now is the woman lying next to me. I feel a soft, warm touch every time our bodies come into contact, and it's too much for me to take. Just sleep in his sofa.
まずいよな、これって。
The sofa is big enough for someone, your size to lie down in. I really should have just slept on the couch. I remember the argument we had before calling it a night.
ベッドで寝ればいいではありませんか。この大きさなら二人並んで眠れます。
だけど
注意。あ、いえ、コウさんに風邪をひかれたら困ります。これからしばらく忙しい日々が続くでしょうから。
The moment I let her talk me into sleeping on the bed was the moment I ran out of luck. I mean, she's sleeping right now, just go right there.
これじゃあ風邪をひかなくても睡眠不足になりそうだ。
God, I really... teenage, mindset that this game had in the earlier parts of the chapter really is something that I don't care much about.
眠れませんか。
Okay, she's not asleep. Surprised, I turn around and see Rain staring at me.
軍の同僚に異性を意識していたら持ちませんよ。陸軍ほどではありませんが、動機は珍しくありません。
そうなんだ。
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem to be bothering her too much.
でもこんなところに泊まるの初めてだから。って本当に初めてなんだよな、俺。
No answer. Guess it's not.
あのさ。
Get a grip, you moron. You really shouldn't ask her if we've done it before. It's not unusual for soldiers to sleep with one another. Relationships in the military are all about snap decisions, with fortune favoring the bold. For example, if you waste too much time planning to ask someone out in the weekend, one of you might be dead by then. A love letter might end up becoming a farewell note. Given those circumstances, soldier romances tend to be very utilitarian in nature. Why am I remembering all of this stuff? all of this. It doesn't matter.
おやすみ
I pulled the blanket over my head and closed my eyes. Bad idea because the inside is filled with a nice bittersweet scent. Is this Rains? I feel like we've already read through all this. I'm gonna mute the text and I'm gonna mute the voices and just skip through this. We've already seen this. Okay, yeah, she's asleep, blah blah. Blah blah, yeah. We're gonna go to Noi after this. Clinic. Change out of uniforms, blah blah, yes. Modern day Saddam, okay. Yeah, alienist, anti-AI, blah blah, yes, we know this. She's talking about alienist again, anti-AI, we don't like it. Really wish we can just skip all this. Nothing really changes much other than the fact that we know about Rain and all the other information about, you know, Nanoha too, probably, once we meet her. Like, of course, there are some subtle changes, right? But, probably 90% or 95% of the text and dialogue are basically the same. They're just too lazy to code in the skip function to actually work in those scenes. I know how these games work. Basically, each scene is their own data file, or, yeah, file set. And they don't want the auto, like, skip function to detect those as, like, dialogue that we've already seen. Which is stupid to me. Yeah, Noi. Cloning. So far, we don't have anyone that we actually cloned. But I'm guessing we might... I don't know, we'll see, I guess. Yeah, we go into here. Dildos, yeah. There's Noi. Paltry amount, yeah, money. Okay, she's gonna ask us about our name, and then she's gonna know that we're basically, you know, Eiji's kid. Yeah, Karakura, blah blah. See, it's the same dialogue. I really wish the skip function just basically goes through like a TXT file of the whole script and checks whether or not we've seen the dialogue. This game is so lazy in terms of the skip function, but it's an old game, so I can't blame it that much. Sometimes even newer games still seems to have this sort of archaic skip function. Yeah, she's saying about how I wanna do something to my dick. Brain chip, yeah, blah blah. Can't believe I'm doing this from chapter 1, or I guess chapter 2. Yeah, mechanism save my skin. So yeah, just gonna use nanomachines to fix my chip. And then we're gonna have a flashback, blah blah. Get a fever. Yeah, nanomachine, drink it up. There we go, we're gonna go to a flashback here. I assume it might be a bit different, the flashback. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we can skip. Yeah, look at the amount that we have to skip. This is just telling us about how we got our first simulacrum by getting it from Aki. Or I guess stealing it from Aki's place. Okay, this is new, but I don't know whether or not it's gonna be new, so... Yeah, welcome back. Noise Clinic. Nice dream. So even in a different route, that seems to be still the same scene, like 100%. That's why I was able to skip it. But this one, because it's technically not the same scene, I can't skip it. Yeah, a few years worth. Oops, my controller died there because I kept pressing my mouse instead of my controller. Yeah, she stayed the night. She was watching us sleep. Blah, blah, blah. We're gonna go to Ark soon. Oh, not yet? Okay. I guess not yet. I guess we're gonna... Okay. After this chapter, we're probably gonna go to Ark. Yeah, see Chinatsu's route. Is this new? This might be new. Let me get back the voice again. As soon as the battle ends, my entire body starts... Oh, no, it's not new. There's the book thing, so you can skip this. Okay, yeah, we're learning how to fight with Naoki here. Yeah, he was also attacked by anti-AI guys. Yeah, our first instance with Ku. Okay, this... I still don't know whether or not this is gonna be new, since we skipped a lot of those. Familiar side, yeah, doctor... Jumbled up, mental shock, yeah. Source of trauma, yeah, we don't want to remember it. Painkiller. Seishu, yeah, yeah. Toolkit. Yeah, we're checking about our list. I think this is when we are trying to find that broker guy, right? That information broker guy. Yeah, Eddie or something, I think? Yeah, there we go, Eddie. Yeah, he's most likely still gonna be dying. Why is this a different branch all on its own? Clearly everything is the same. Might as well just keep it the same. But I guess the choice made it we are not in the same area anymore. She's praying. I think we also saw this too in the original route. Not sure if we got the CG though for it. She came back, yeah, blah blah. Give her the Eddie mail, and then we're gonna go to Anonymous City. Yeah, there we go, Anonymous City. We're gonna find him dead. Reunion. Is it still the same name of the chapters too? Yeah, the name of the chapter is the same, so I'm guessing if the name is the same, things are gonna be the same too. Yeah, blah blah. We already know what the hell Anonymous City is. It's basically 4chan. And then that's gonna be our first instance with Goat, I think. But we did not know at this point that Goat was Chinatsu. I don't think we saw Chinatsu though in our first time here. Only the goat grunts. Yeah, he's dead, blah blah. We got info about Anon after this. Yeah, who killed him though? I don't think Dominion actually cares if Eddie investigates them. So it might be like Goat. Okay, there's a battle here. Alright. Quicksand, get up immediately after being downed through the use of a booster. Oh, that's really good. I'd want that, yes. I'll put voice in just because there's gonna be a fight. That's definitely a new enemy. I'm guessing with each subsequent like new game pluses, we unlock new enemies soon. The moment I get outside, I spot a black simulacrum approaching. Yeah, that's definitely new, right? The Shadow Gale. Okay, that thing's dead pretty quickly. Jeez. Annoying bastard. I guess this is more of a ranged person. I want to kill it with the Force Crash if I can. God damn it. God damn it. Where's that Shadow Gale guy? I really want to kill it. Is it dead? Where's that Shadow Gale guy? I want to kill with the, like I said, the booster. Oh well. Guess I'll just kill these ones. I think that guy is dead, yeah. Maybe a rain killed him. Okay, might be no more new dialogue again, so I'm gonna turn off voices. I'm gonna save my game just in case of a crash. Yeah, fight to the death, blah blah blah. Yeah, kill the man. Don't really care though. Yeah, we leave. Yeah, there's no Chinatsu still. We saw them when we were at that place. So that was either Goat or... No, that's not. That's basically... That's probably not Goat then. That's probably the mercenaries that are with Gilbert. The sun, yeah. Okay, that's chapter 3. So pretty quick with me just speed reading this. Is this still gonna be the same chapter name? Chapter 4? Okay, we're seeing a lot more Chinatsu, so maybe not. So I'm gonna change the voice to new here. Let me take a look at the chapter name. Still ground zero. God damn it.
設定を変えるの？
Yeah, there's some minute differences for sure in this route. But it's still a common route. I hate it. I was kind of expecting this to be a totally different route because the branch already branches from there, but nope. Noise clinic, blah blah, soldier. Yeah, still thinking about us killing that guy. Mm-hmm. Hippocampus. Right, another flashback right here. Tournament. We can probably skip this one. Yep, there we go. Boom. First meeting up with Shinatsu. And then we ask her to go into a tournament with us. She rejects, of course. Blah, blah. Yeah, made a date. What happened after that? Blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ground zero. So we want to see Seishu, which we already know what's in Seishu. Gungnir, Great Christmas. Skip, I assume, because this is a flashback. Mm-hmm. Talking to Ku. Meeting up with Gilbert the first time. The first time we save Rain there. Blah blah. We're at the train station. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be meeting up with Shizzle soon. I'm just gonna not attack her. There's probably no point in attacking her. I don't know whether or not we're even gonna get the choice. Oh wait, was that new? I was actually kind of blacking out. Nonoha, mom lived there. Kurahama's the most blah blah. First date here too, huh? Yeah. Pencil on the spot, blah blah, yeah. Got surprised by this. Mm-hmm. Man, just let me skip this. These are all things I already know. Yeah, blah 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 blah. So I guess Coast Revenge is actually very right though, right? The lead that we got was Drexler Institute, and we kept pursuing Drexler, and it's revealed that yes, it was Naoki that actually inadvertently killed Sora. Maybe this time we're actually gonna understand what the hell Naoki gave us from that flashback, because we never actually got to use that flashback for Nanoha's route. We already know this. Tragic End, Gungnir, Great Christmas. Yeah, the leak. We already saw this. We wanted to go to Sora, but some security told us not to go. Someone said that Gungnir was auto used. I'm guessing the AI will actually purge those things. Man, I don't care about Sora. God. Okay, blah blah. Similar went rogue. We're gonna go to Arc after this. Gungnir. Okay, should be Shizzle soon here. Areas off limits, blah blah, yeah, Shizzle. Gotta go to transportation, you're with Fenrir. Okay, we follow her. Then she's gonna ask us to fight her, which I'm not gonna do because she actually didn't honor her fight. I assume the fight here is basically the same. Can I join them in this one? I don't think so. We're probably still not very trustful of our dad. Dirty work, blah blah. Yeah, we're useless. Don't fall for provocation because we don't care. Yeah, we already saw this too. God, this is just the fucking... This is just the common route. Was there a choice here in the non-common route? We can actually join her here. Oh. There we go. The reason why this is like this is because we can actually go back here. So fine, we actually go with Eiji. We go with her to Fenrir. And we're not gonna be with Rain. There we go. Wait. Is that a fake choice? I hope not. That's a fake choice, yeah. So it's not the choice yet, but there is something that will make me go back here. God damn it. Ah. Made me excited for nothing, game. Thanks a lot. This is gonna be the same. Eh, what the? Oh, no. It's still the same. No. It's all the same. Yeah, Rain was laser pinpointing her head. Blah blah. I already did my choice though. God damn it. Yeah, I guess that's my that's one thing I don't like about this game so far. It feels like I'm on rails. If they want me to go on rails, they better just not give me choices, you know? That's what I feel like. Okay, this is new now. All right. Everything here should be new. So we're on that node. My old man was waiting for us in one of the VTOL's rooms. Okay, we didn't leave Rain.
Yeah.
Okay, she didn't actually leave. She actually asked us to talk with our dad, I'm guessing. I wait until she leaves and then talk to him.
こうして直に顔を合わせるのは数年ぶりだ。まったく大きくなりやがったな、坊主。
坊主はやめてくれ。もう俺はガキじゃないんだから。
そう。今は立派な中尉殿だったな。まったく。 頼むから俺が生きている間は大佐の俺より出世しないでくれ。
叩き上げが大佐以上にはなれねえよ。ってそこまで昇進できりゃ文句ないだろ。
ま、そうだがよ。俺としてはお前には統合軍の士官様にでもなってほしかったわけだ。
A few complaints come to mind, but I figured that beefing right here and now wouldn't help anyone.
しかし、シゼルとやり合って無事だとはな。あいつはうちの隊でも一番のホットドガーだってのによ。
Not that she fights me. Is it just me or did he just say something scary? If he's right, then Major Shizzle wasn't kidding that I had no chance against her. Wouldn't be so sure about that after all my new game pluses.
記憶喪失になったって聞いたが、特に支障はなさそうだな。
That reminds me that something came over me when I was dealing with Major Shizzle. That might have been why I realized Rain was there. Though my memory is so full of holes, I seem to have regained my memories as a mercenary, as a soldier. Is it because of Noi's treatment? I should thank her next time.
そんなことより仕事の話を聞かせてくれないか。
やれやれ。久々に会ったってのにせっかちだな。俺たちもドレクスラー機関を追っている。研究者。特にその代表の捕獲が我々の最優先任務だ。
Okay, I'm guessing we're not gonna be releasing Assembler in this route. Technically in Rain's route, I don't think we release Assembler too, but I don't remember. I know we blew up the nuclear reactor, but I guess Nanoha died along with Dominion at that point, along with Gilbert.
栗原直樹か。クライアントは誰なんだ？
それはここじゃ言えない。何？俺たちの仲間になればお前にも詳しい話を教えてやる。
Yeah, we already know from another timeline that it's Sark.
あのな、入隊を誘っておいてそりゃないんじゃねえのか？
クライアントは極秘なんだ。うちの隊の連中でも一部のメンバーにしか明かしていない。
I kind of understand why they made the game force route order though, because I feel like if you do this route before you do Nanoha's route, the reveal that these guys were working for Arc was at the very late chapters for Nanoha's route, right? If you get this route first, I'm guessing that you're gonna get revealed very quickly here after we join up with AJ.
相変わらずの秘密主義かよ。
そういうお前は一体何の目的で連中を追っていたんだ？亡くなった学友の仇討ちか？
そんなのじゃねえよ。俺はただ真相が知りたいんだ。
Provoked by his words, I vocalized the gloom that was with me since I was a kid.
あんたに見捨てられた俺にとって学園寮の仲間こそが俺の家族だった。その家族が失われた理由を俺はこの目で確かめたい。
こ
う。それに正直に言えば親父面もあまりされたくない。あんた一体どこで戦争してたんだ？俺や母さんを置いたまま。
そうだな。お前の言う通り、俺は親父としちゃ最低の人間だな。
At least you're not making excuses.
まあ、今さら親父面をされても面白くはないだろうな。それにお前の言う通り、俺たちは正義の味方からはかけ離れた存在だ。だが、俺や俺たちの部隊にも真偽はある。少なくとも、狂信者やテロ組織に組みするような真似はしない。
That's not a very high bar.
それなりにお前の身を案じているのも本当だ。信じられないか？
This man is my dad and the leader of an infamous PMC called Fenrir. He's a warmonger who left his kid all by himself. But
いや、信じるさ。信じるというより信じたい。もしその言葉が嘘だったら、俺はもうあんたを親父と呼べなくなっちまうからな。
だったら信じろ。俺もたった一人の息子まで失いたくはない。
as he mutters that, I notice just how much he's aged. Yeah, we really are father and son. Even if there's tons of things I don't like about him, I don't want us to become strangers.
とりあえずしばらくはフェンリルにいろ。それで信用できないようであれば、いつでも出ていけばいい。
そんなに簡単に出入りさせたんじゃ、隊の規律や指揮に問題があるんじゃねえか？
何？この隊の王様は俺だ。その程度の融通はいくらでも聞かせてやれる。
He forms his usual smile, making me feel a bit relieved. Believing his words might not actually be such a bad idea. There is also the fact that my own power won't be enough for the battles I'll fight. I have no choice but to borrow their help. No matter what Fenrir's true goal is, I just have to protect what I believe in. With that in mind, there's only one thing left to take care of.
親父、少しレインと話をさせてくれないか。
レイン、まあ、あのお嬢さんか。まったくどこであんな娘さんを引っ掛けて。
親父。
わかったわかった。じゃあ、あとは二人でじっくり話し合って決めてくれ。
More like I'm gonna try to convince her. My old man leaves and Rain comes in.
実はフェンリルへの入隊を誘われている。
入隊するつもりなのですか？注意。
Oh, sorry about that.
親父に対して思うところはいろいろあるけれど、今意地を張ってる場合じゃないんだ。自分の目的を果たすにはフェンリルの力を借りるのもいい。俺もここに席を置くことにするよ。
いずれにせよ、私は注意の決断に従います。
ありがとう、レイン。
お互い様です、注意。私も私自身のために注意と共にいるのです。
Yeah, at least I find it really easy to accept AG to be a somewhat competent individual. Because, you know, even though, sure, young Ko knew that he kind of left him and his mom when she was kind of in a very precarious situation, right? You can definitely understand that he's still a competent and, you know, human being somewhat. There's definitely a reason why he couldn't go back to you know, to our family during that time. Come next morning, we take Fenrir's VTOL back to Suzushiro. So we're not gonna go to Arkin this route. That leads me to a briefing room featuring some of the latest equipment. The panel on the wall displays a dense sea of clouds, making it pretty clear that we're thousands of meters above ground.
相変わらず輸送機を基地代わりにしているのか。
We briefly went into this aircraft in the other route.
これなら世界のどこにでも駆けつけられる。それに輸送機といってもこいつはただの輸送機じゃないぞ。
Yusoki, huh?
VC147 大型軍用輸送機。門倉運輸が誇る V トール輸送機にして我々の移動司令部。高かったんだぞ、こいつは。
He seems to have every reason to brag. His briefing room is so large that I don't even feel like it's a part of an aircraft. Here and there, I see the crew members doing their jobs. They're all wearing jackets with a Katakura transportation logo on them.
まるで空飛ぶ駆逐艦ですね。
人聞きが悪いぞ、ジョーさん。こいつは門倉運輸が所有する単なる輸送機だ。軍艦なんて物騒な代物じゃない。
Doesn't mean you don't have weapons in it though, right?
見るやつが見れば一目でわかるけどな。
I feel someone behind me and turn around to see Major Shizzle.
入隊を歓迎するぞ。門倉注意。霧島少尉。
こちらこそよろしくお願いします、少佐。
Rain and I stand next to each other and salute her. She too fixes her posture and responds the same way.
とりあえずフェンリルの名は伏せておきなさい。我々はあくまで民間会社のスタッフとして鈴代市に入る。
我々の仕事は鈴代市への物資運送並びに現地でのセキュリティシステムの保全。実に平和な仕事だ。
というのは建前。実際はどんな作戦行動を考えているのですか？
それは後で説明する。なるべく交戦を避けたいのは本当のところだ。
鈴代市は弾薬庫みたいなところだからな。迂闊にドンパチを始めれば大事になりかねん。
He grins and sends me the data. I accept it and find my new idea. Kadokura Transportation, Security Cyber Service Division's primary worker, Ko Kadokura.
引退して民間会社に就職。形だけ夢が叶ったみたいだぜ、
レイン。Rain replies to me with a slight smile.
鈴代市に接近。予定通り降下ルートに入ります。
Following those words, I feel a slight change in the G-force affecting me. Soon, the aircraft breaks through the clouds, letting me see Suzushiro off in the distance. Okay, because we're infiltrating Suzushiro anyway. We're probably gonna go to Arc at some point again. Maybe not necessarily today, but maybe tomorrow or something. Maybe the next chapter we're gonna be in Arc. This is still chapter 4, right? It is. It looks filthy even from here. It's so bad that it almost feels like it's the only place where the air is impure. Mitspar stands tall in the middle of the city, and from this perspective, it looks as though that's the only place with a different sense of scale.
都市周辺部より SAM の発射確認。種別ツルゲーネフ弾数8。
Someone launched
近接防空兵器システム起動します。
surface artillery missiles? The Gatling guns let out a sound akin to a ball. A moment later, I hear explosions which are followed by shockwaves that rattle the aircraft.
早速手洗い歓迎だな。
They're shooting us.
ECM 展開。発射地点を確認。
都市に近づいただけで攻撃か。親父じゃなくて大佐、誰かに恨みでも買っているのか。
ドミニオンかゲリラ組織か犯罪組織か、はたまた CDF か。心当たりが多すぎてわからん。
Right as he answers, I hear a significantly louder explosion and feel the aircraft shake wildly. I don't think the Minion will be doing anything like this. I don't think they actually like to do things publicly.
まったく大した輸送機だぜ。民間会社への見せかけの偽装なんてまるで無意味じゃないか。
安心しろ。ツルゲーネフごときじゃ何発撃とうがこの木を落とせん。
CIC への攻撃確認。アイスに侵入者。奇数16。所属不明。ブラックアイス展開。
リアルとバーチャルの両面攻撃。これは威嚇などではなく本気で落としにかかっています。
Rain's face turns stiff. If we lose the combat information core, okay, that's what the CIC is. I was gonna be like, huh? What the fuck is a CIC? That's a new abbreviation that I haven't seen anywhere else. So I'm guessing the CIC is basically the AI for the whole system of this aircraft. We'll have problems way worse than just missiles.
隊長、我々が出ます。
だったら俺たちも。
2名は待機。まだ一緒に演習もしていないのだからな。モホーク来い、出番だ。
Okay, that guy's called Mohawk. I keep forgetting his name. Hopefully we see a lot more of this guy in this route. When Major Shizzle shouts that, a large man appears from behind. She heads to a console. The man she called Mohawk does the same, and they both insert neurojacks into their necks.
距離30。第1波。第2波の発射を確認。種別ツルゲーネフ8。次いで第3波。スターリングラード8。
累計で24発か。大盤振る舞いだな。どこの誰か知らんが、よほど俺たちに来てもらいたくないらしい。
そう言いながら余裕の笑顔だな、親父。
言っただろう。こいつにはとんでもない金をつぎ込んでいる。言ってみれば空飛ぶ要塞。
A screamer sounds throughout the briefing room. I look to where it came from and see a support writhe in her console.
警告。マインドハック攻撃を確認。サポート要員の脳チップに損傷。
Do they not have any simulacrums? Everyone should have a simulacrum, but I guess they're pretty weak. Rain instantly runs up to her and smashes the abort key. All power is drained from the support's body. Rain inserts the neurojack and opens her eyes in surprise.
CIC にウイルス侵食。先ほどとは別口の相手です。妨害により対空迎撃機能に障害が。
参った。最初のは陽動か。ファック。メディックを呼べ。シゼル、モホーク、CIC へ。
現在構成中。3分の猶予。
いや、待ってられんな。
Alright, let's go. It takes a glance at my face.
やあ、俺が出ます。こんなところで墜落死するわけにはいかないしな。
よし、河の ID を登録しろ。急げ。3分以内に敵を排除しろ。お嬢さんも手伝ってくれるな。
いや、サポート引き継ぎます。
Rain lightly closes her eyes. The warning message stops, and the monitor comes back up. We have AA missiles coming right. anti-aircraft, right? Anti-aircraft missiles incoming right now. If we don't take care of them, this aircraft will be our grave.
よし行ってくる。
気をつけてな、坊主。
Hearing his voice, I yelled my body to the diving process. Rate boost. First crash charge option rate boost. I don't know what the fuck that is. But sure. It's not like I'm gonna be purchasing anything new right now. I'm not gonna be developing any new stuff. This is my loadout for basically all game, guys. The ice leading to the CIC is already surrounded by viruses trying to get in.
敵確認。これから排除する。
Jeez.
どこを見ている。指先やった。指先。ほら。当たれ。できた。やった。よし。
Jeez.
指先。できた。当たれ。指先。当たれ。
Is this the last one? Okay, that thing actually came toward me. I think that's it. Nope. So many of these things. Man, I really wanted to hit the scorpions too. Jeez. Okay, I really like that auto, like, going back up again. Jeez. This thing is pissing me off, though. It actually does quite a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe I should just focus on, that thing first. Jeez. Okay, maybe I should just be focusing on something. There we go. Jeez. So much trouble with these things. Can you, like, do something? Stuck in limbo. Okay. 3 minutes left. Or sorry, 5 seconds left. I was actually not taking a look at the time. That could have actually been a game over. Whirlwind.
迎撃完了。
CIC 機能復活。対空迎撃システム再起動。
There you go, gotta save my game. I hear the motor cannons in real life begin to hum.
自動追尾狙撃モード。フルゲーネフ前期破壊。フレア展開。 敵弾は全て回避されました。
間に合ったみたいだな。
助かった。礼を言う、注意。
たくましくなったな、坊主。鈴代氏に着いたら褒美に一杯おごってやる。
だから坊主はやめろって。
Power and tension escape me as I log out from cyberspace. I think it's just a corporate thing, Ko. A lot of old people seems to always treat, you know, younger people as kiddos. And so, Rain and I, now members of Fenrir, return to Suzushiro. Yeesh, that's loud. Okay. Very different chapter 4 after we meet up with Shizzle. So past this point, the chapter name should be a lot different. I stand in the marble hallway, surrounded by the cold morning air. What is it called? Yeah, Fenrir, there we go. I was trying to zoom in, but I don't know what the zoom in function is in this game. Yeah, there we go. So it is from this point. If you choose fine, you're actually gonna go here. I assume if you go ... you're basically gonna go back here. That's Saki. There's a doll-like girl next to me. She's holding my hand, dragging me behind her like I'm a plush toy. It's Saki from when we were children and lived in a Nishino household. The luxurious, pure white residence is cold and devoid of people. It was a temporary home that I could never get accustomed to.
ねえ、一体どこに行くの？
廊下。
でも、もうずっと廊下を歩いているんだけど。
For no apparent reason, Aki is dragging me around like an old plush toy. In fact, it feels like she actually thinks that I'm exactly that. I am a bit opposed to it, but I can't bring myself to resist. Is that Aunt Sarah? Our aunt's angry shout makes Aki stop.
どうしてうちばかりが子供を預からなくちゃいけないんですか？
仕方がないだろう、お前。これは親族会議で決まったことなんだし。
Our aunt and uncle are always fighting. Though to be precise, it's always our aunt that scolds our uncle.
私たちがセイラさんに逆らえないのは知っているだろう。
No, it's not Sarah. Okay.
セイラさんって何ですか？あの魔女が引き取ればいいじゃありませんか。
そうもいかないのは分かってるだろ。一族で子供がいないのは私たちだけなのだから。
So Aki is also not these guys' children or child.
それって私を責めているの？子供がいないのはあなたに干渉がないからじゃないの。
I remember how much their words frustrated me. I mean, I didn't want to be here either. Aki suddenly grasps my arm and pulls me away from there. She leads me to her room, and when we're inside, she pulls me by the hand and makes me sit on the floor.
アキちゃん。
Oh yeah, this happened before I even considered her a sister. Aki stands in a pile of plush toys and looks at me like a doll. It's a well-furnished room with a mountain of plushies in it. It doesn't really feel like anyone lives here. It's like a pretty warehouse or something.
屈折禁止。
え？
私たち今人格の形成期。折れ曲がって成長したら多分負け。
ごめん。意味がよくわからないよ。
I mean, what you experience as a kid can influence you a lot as an adult. But, you know, as an adult, you should have, well, at least if you're somewhat critical thinking, or at least you introspect a lot, you start to notice things that are wrong in your childhood, right? And you start wanting to change them. But well, even though I notice my own circumstances too in my childhood that I feel like they're not necessarily good aspects that I still have in my own self, it's still very difficult to change it, right? So what Aki's saying is very right about how it's formative, what's she saying? Formative years of your personalities. Once it takes shape, it takes forever to try to change it.
つまり気にしちゃダメ。
Even if I don't understand her, I can still feel that she's just being considerate of me. She's just awkward about it, that's all.
でもどうしたらいいのかわからないよ。僕だってこの家に来たくて来たんじゃないのに。あんな風に聞こえるように言わなくても、僕だっておばさんに迷惑なんかかけたくないのに。
つらい？
うん。
そう。
During these times, Aki always hugged me or held my hand. It was pretty uncomfortable though. She treated me carelessly like I was a body pillow or something.
だったら逃避すればいい。
How old are these kids? They're like, what, 10 years old at most?
逃避ってどういう意味？
これ
Aki extends a newer jack toward me.
私たちはセカンドだから。
The morning bell breaks me out of my sleep. I mean, I guess people have to have some form of escapism to stuff that they don't want to, you know, think too much about. I mean, I probably go to the gym somewhat to relieve stress myself. I'm in Fenrir's base, and it's the second day after we returned to Suzushiro. But you know, it depends on the type of escapism, right? I feel like when I go to the gym, I feel like I calm my mind and I can take a look at things in a lot more objective manner. So when I think of things that bother me, because I'm robotically and objectively thinking about it, it doesn't really bother me all that much anymore. But it's bad when the sort of escapism that you do is just basically trying to forget stuff instead of facing it head on.
なんか最近は昔の夢ばかり見るよな。
My head's throbbing with pain and I reflexively rub my temple.
おはようございます。相変わらず頭痛はやみませんか？
The voice makes me look up and I see Rain, all dressed up and ready.
こんなものすぐに収まる。問題はただ。
まだ過去の記憶の欠落が戻らないのですか？
まあな。でも幸いにも生きていくのに支障はないさ。
I put up a tough front. Sure, I can live on like this just fine, but losing my dear memories makes me feel a bit dejected.
きっとすぐに治りますよ。大佐がいいお医者さんを紹介してくれるそうですし。
いい医者ね。どうだか。
ちゃんと起きているようだな。
Major Shizzle enters the room. Rain and I both salute her.
おはようございます、調査。
来い。飯の前に朝の体操の時間だ。
She throws me a towel and beckons me. We really should be eating first instead of training first. Training on an empty stomach is stupid. It's our second day in Fenrir, and Major Shizzle is training us all over again.
二人とも体は鈍っていないようだな。
She smiles at me. She's covered in sweat, making her dark skin shine with a beautiful glint.
俺たちは体が基本ですから、鍛えておかなくちゃ話になりませんよ。
いい心がけだな。注意。電脳部隊はリアルボディをおろそかにしがちだ。だが我々は統合軍や CDF とは違う。まともなコンソールを使える方が珍しい。
全くそうですね。
I glance at Mohawk. He's folding his arms like he always does. I don't think the towering man is sweating a single drop. For a cyber soldier, he's pretty tough.
ウイジンはサンフランシスコ統合構造隊の内戦だ。
え？
以来ずっと電脳部隊に所属している。
ああ、あの戦いなら聞いているよ。じゃああんた、俺の先輩なんだな。
階級は同じだ。
He confidently extends his hand towards me. It looks as large as a bear's. It completely covers my own when I shake it.
よろしくな。モホーク注意？
モホークでいい。
そうか。じゃあよろしく、モホーク。
よし。
He nods without changing his expression.
モホークも相当なホットドガー。特に重い機体を扱わせたら天才的だ。クソ重い機体でダンスを踊ってみせてくれる。 私も何度も命を救われた。
踊りは戦士の基本だ。
Whatever you say, dude. I can't tell if he's serious, but it's clear that his skills are no joke.
モホークと手合わせしてみる気はあるか？
そうです
Sorry
ね
about that.
機会があれば。
よし、いいだろう。今すぐその機会を作ってやる。
With our real bodies?
今日からはお待ちかねの趣味クラブの演習だ。
Okay.
手始めに互いの力量を見ておけ。
いいんですか？
I unwittingly crack a smile. It's good to train your body and all, but moving my unit suits me way better.
嬉しそうだな、注意。模擬戦闘だが、リミッターは限界まで緩めている。気を。
いや、
God damn it, she always has those long pauses between her sentences. I actually thought she was done. We return to the base and get right to it. This'll be some good pre-breakfast exercise. God, people who exercise before they actually eat some food, they need to have their priorities straight. How are you going to be effective at your exercise if you don't have any fuel?
Shift 完了。
Once I become my simulacrum, I hear my old man's voice from reality.
息子の戦いっぷりを見られるとは感無量だが、本当に大丈夫か、こう。
任せとけ、親。大佐。これでも俺たちは素人じゃない。文字通り朝飯前ってやつだ。
その意気だ、坊主。恥をかかないようにしっかりやれよ。
坊主はやめてほしいものですね。大佐殿。
And he doesn't have to tell me anything like that. I know I can mess up with him watching.
準備はいいか。門倉注意。
Yeah, he's definitely very heavy looking.
こうでいい。無論準備はできているぜ。
I'm guessing he's actually a long-range guy because of that missile in his shoulders. Mohawk grasps a brutish battle axe. Okay, maybe he's actually melee. It'll more than just hurt if I take that thing head on. But he also does have missiles too, yeah. Damn, okay, he doesn't get staggered. Interesting. Ooh, that hurts. Well, doesn't hurt that much. He's very tanky, man. This guy's tanky as shit. He's still not using his battle axe, though. Okay, he's using... It's kind of easy, to be honest. Doesn't seem like he's actually doing much. Because I can also see the trajectory of his, like, missiles. It's also easy to, like, dodge them. When he does that, though, it actually reduces the damage by quite a lot. Okay. Oh, yeah. When he does that. Do those actually, like, aim for me? Wow. 1 damage. It's not a lot. I messed up the combo there. Jeez, that hurts quite a bit. He's already green though, thankfully. Okay, yellow now. What are you gonna do, my dude? I wish I could force crash this guy. But alas. I think he's dead. Enemies that don't have movement or any sort of like anti, or not anti, but like super armor thing, they're kind of weak, to be honest, in this game. Dread Lance.
見事だ。
怠慢は得意なんだ。学園生時代から経験を積んでいるからな。
よくやった、こう注意。訓練は終了だ。戻ってこい。
や。
Maybe in very hard they actually have new what do you call it? New movesets. I'm not too sure. I really don't want to use very hard though, because one, I probably am not gonna be able to deal with their HP fast enough, especially with my loadout. Basically, the limiting factor of me not wanting to go to very hard really is just the fact that I can't get better moves. After the mock battle, we go through a briefing while having a light coffee breakfast.
鈴代氏は諸君らも知っているように密造なのの供給源だ。市議会議員も当然ながらそれに深く関与している。そしてもう一つ、鈴代氏はドミニオンの潜伏先でもある。教団に関与している議員も少なくないはずだ。そしてナノ密造業者にはドミニオンの息がかかっていて、彼らの資金源となっている。
つまり都市ぐるみでナノを密造していたと。いやゴートに目をつけられるわけだ。
He raises his hands and sighs.
ここまでは基地の情報。そして門倉中尉から提供されたデータは現在解析中だが、追加で分かった情報がある。
Oh yeah, I told Rain to give Fenrir the data we had. Some of it was protected, but it looks like that wasn't much of a problem for Fenrir's equipment.
門倉中尉が潜入した構造体の防衛に当たっていた未確認タイプのウイルスの残骸データ。我々は情報屋にデータの解析を依頼した。
I was this close to actually skipping her next sentence there.
その返答によると、ハイブリッドウイルスの開発には非常に高度なナノ技術プログラムのソースが流用されていることが判明したそうだ。アングラのプログラマーは自分の署名代わりに癖のあるコードを故意に使用することがある。担当直入に言おう。ハイブリッドウイルスはドミニオンと CDF の機体データをもとにドレクスラーの技術者の手で合成されている。
どういうことです？
どうしてそんなウイルスを作ったのかは知らん。作ったやつにでも聞け。
しかし所属を照合できないようなウイルスを用いる理由はあるのですね。
そうだ。このウイルスはモグリの傭兵部隊によって実験的に用いられる。無論
God damn it, this girl! Her pauses is so long between lines, guys. I'm not making this shit up.
最近になってよく聞くのはダインスレイブと名乗っている部隊ですね。
ダインスレイブのような無認可の傭兵部隊は市議会の一部から秘密裏に庇護を受けることで活動できている。
待ってくださいよ。じゃあそれらの状況から考えるとドミニオンと CDF、 そしてドレクスラー機関、それら全てに接点を持つ議員がいて、ドレクスラー機関がアセンブラを再び作っているという事実の発覚を恐れ、そいつがモグリの傭兵を動かし、例のアジト構造体を爆破、証拠の隠滅を図った。
そういうことになりますね。
Rain nods. My own words give me a better understanding of the situation. It feels like part of the fog around my head has lifted.
しかし爆破のような目立つ手段を使ったのは何か慌てていたからか。
Okay, now you're done? Okay, that was very quick,
ゴートがすぐそこまで来てたからじゃねえのか。
My old man finally speaks up.
統合政府はずっと密造ナノ市場に目をつけてきた。介入の機会を伺っていたと言っていいだろう。ゴートが派遣されるのは時間の問題だった。 アセンブラの開発をしていたなどと知れたら鈴代氏の自治もおしまいだ。
今になって証拠隠滅を図ったということは、議員はアセンブラの存在を知らなかったのでしょうね。
おそらくな。だが証拠隠滅は失敗した。仮想の施設は吹き飛んだが、我々はデータを掴んでいる。ドレクスラーの連中の行方は知れないままだが、データを調べればつるんでいた議員も判明するだろう。
She forms a pleased smile. I, on the other hand, don't see anything to be pleased about.
少佐、アセンブラは完成寸前だったんですよ。あの場での開発データは失われても、アセンブラそのものがこの世から消えたわけじゃない。アセンブラの現物がどこかにあるとしたら、連中がテロ行為に出ないとも限りません。だったら阻止するために動かないと。
焦るな、注意。焦って動けばかえって相手を刺激することになる。
そりゃ分かっていますが。
幸い我々がデータを持っていることは相手はまだ知らないはずだ。
でもだからといって
我々の任務はドレクスラー機関、特に栗原直樹の捕獲にある。アセンブラや黒幕議員の追及は本筋の仕事じゃない。
That's certainly different from what happened previously. Previously, we were supposed to get Assembler, but I guess at that point, it was already too late, huh?
なんだよ、アセンブラができようができまいが、ドレクスラー機関のメンバーさえ捕まえられればいいって言いたいのかよ。
注意、口を慎め。父親であっても今は貴様の上官だ。
いいじゃないか。せっかく息子がフランクに話しかけているんだ。多少は多めに見てやろう。なあ、こう。
いえ、申し訳ありませんでした、大佐。
I don't like doing it, but I hold my emotions back and give him a formal bow.
やれやれ。まあ、いずれにせよ栗原を捕らえればアセンブラもそれ以上作れなくなる。あとはアセンブラの現物なんてものがすでに存在していたとしても、その扱いは依頼主が決めることだ。
我々の依頼主は誰なんですか？
まだ口にすることはできんが、いずれわかる。
だが誓ってもいい。俺たちはドミニオンやらその手の連中には雇われん。雇われていたらお前を巻き込んだりはせん。
That's kind of an oxymoron. We'd never be hired, and then you said if we were. Sure, whatever you say. These type of wording really makes it really hard to trust you.
いや、
That's the only answer I can give here. I'm just a member of Fenrir right now, and I can't force my superior to give me classified info. My head understands that perfectly, but my heart has trouble accepting it. I suddenly get a headache bad enough to make me grimace.
どうしたこう。今のでへそを曲げたわけじゃないよな。
当たり前だ。違うよ。ただまた頭痛が。
大丈夫ですか？
調子が悪そうだ。やはり一度医者に診てもらった方がいい。今日はゆっくり休め。
いや。
After the briefing, I leave the base again. What I see before me is a weathered runway and a bunch of aircraft resting their wings. This is the Suzushiro Airport. The sultry air here carries an unpleasant reek.
無駄に広いよな。V トール機の普及以前に作られた空港だけのことはある。
今も使われている空港なのに閑散として寂しいものですね。
夏草やつわものどもが夢の後。ここも大戦の頃は州軍航空部隊の連中で賑わっていたもんだがな。
I turn around and see my old man go down the ramp. Major Shizzle and Mohawk are with him too.
注意、これから予定は？
特にはありませんが。
What did she say? Any plans?
ならアーク社までお使いに行ってきてくれんか。
Okay, we're gonna go to Ark anyway.
お使いですか？任務の詳細は？ただ行けとだけ言われても、タイに加わったといえ、ガキの使い扱いはごめんですよ。
返事はやだ。注意、何度も言わせるな。
Major Shizzle doesn't hesitate to scold me.
いや、申し訳ありません。
父親相手で調子が狂っているのはわかる。だが気をつけてくれ。タイの指揮に関わる。任務はアーク社社長に面会すること。以上だ。
With those words as her last, Major Shizzle goes away somewhere. I guess she wants me to hear directly from Sarah.
な、怖い女だろう、少佐殿は。
妙な言い方ですね、大佐殿。少佐殿とはいろいろとお付き合いが長いんですか？
I speak in a soft tone, remembering that one time Shizzle visited us when Mom was sick.
もう周りに他の兵もいないから気軽に話せよ。
He slaps me on his shoulder. It actually hurts.
ま、あいつと俺は腐れんってやつだな。お前と霧島少尉の関係みたいなもので、男と女の関係とはちょっと違う。
レインが俺たちのことを話したのか？
そうだが許してやれ。俺がしつこく聞き出したんだ。
He puts on a strained face and places his hand on my shoulder. The expression is unlike him. Combined with the palm's warmth, it makes me feel strangely uncomfortable.
お前にはずっと謝りたかった。
一体どのことについてだ？
あのクリスマスの日、事故発生を聞いて、俺は V トールで青春に駆けつけた。撃墜されるのを覚悟だな。
What about my mom thing?
結局何もしてやれなかった。もしグングニールの狙撃がなければなんて、それもまた言い訳になっちまうがな。
今さらいいよ、親父。親父に責任なんて何もないじゃないか。
Well, at that time, it wasn't really any of his fault. I do think that not saving us was out of the question, right? It was basically we were getting rained down by fucking lasers from outer space. Who the fucking save us from that? What you should be apologizing for is about my mom, I guess. Back then, I didn't even consider that he would come to help me. Our relationship as father and son was already falling at that point, failing him.
俺に詫びる必要なんかない。
Also, it doesn't make me feel good to have him bow to me. I don't want to see him like that.
すまんな。こ
This time, he slaps my shoulder more lightly.
う。ま、とにかくアーク社に行ってこい。どうせおばさんともしばらく会っていないんだろう。
ああ、まあな。
いかんな、親戚付き合いも大切だぞ。日頃顔をつないでおかないと、俺みたいに親戚中から鼻つまみ者扱いされてしまうからな。
Ore mitai. The localization actually cut that off, just like me.
心配しなくても、俺も親父もすでに鼻つまみ者だろ。
You guys are just outcasts. I actually just outright cut off my extended family.
それが分かっているなら、なおさらおばさんとは仲良くしとけ。あの人は親族の間でも畏怖の対象になっているからな。そうそう、アキちゃんにもちゃんと会うんだぞ。親戚筋でお前を一番可愛がってくれた姉さんなんだからな。
アキねか。
Seeing her would make me feel guilty. It's the reason why I spent all these years dishonorably avoiding her. After all, I broke my promise and I'm now using the simulacrum she made me to work as a goddamn mercenary.
何を迷子の子犬みたいな顔してやがるんだ。しっかりしろ。お前も今や一発の注意殿なんだろ。
He slaps my shoulder again and walks away, leaving only the reddish-skinned man, Mohawk.
おい、
That's red? I would call that brown, really. He calls out to me with his deep voice. He's not smiling, which makes me feel like he's displeased. What does he want with me? Slightly tense, I look up at him.
俺に何か用か？
Silence. His arms folded, he just stares directly at me.
なんだ？人の顔をジロジロ見て。
お前、本当は心の強い男だ。
I've seen his monologues. I don't think so, Mohawk.
いきなり何言ってるんだ？微動だにしないあんたほどじゃないよ。
He nods, tightens his bear-like fist, and thrusts it toward me. Does he want a bro fist? I take half a step and brace myself, but the punch stops right before my eyes. There's something wrapped in pink on his palm.
クエってこりゃキャンディーか？
甘いのは苦手か？
いや、嫌いじゃない。ありがたくもらっておくけれど。
Candy is like barely any calories, though. Did I actually eat any breakfast?
よし。
He gives a big nod, turns his large back to me and walks away.
何がよしなのやら。
きっと注意と何か話がしたかったんですよ。
Rain and I begin walking through the empty airport. I guess Rain is gonna come with me to ARC still. We walk out into Suzushiro.
お父様と仲が悪いと聞いていましたが、思ったより親密そうで安心しました。
レインの前でみっともない喧嘩はできないからな。それにお互い痛いところには触れられない。そこを過ぎたら喧嘩になる。そんなポイントが俺たちの間にはあるんだ。
Mother, the dark side of his job, the way he interacts with me. If we talked about those things seriously, we just end up screaming at each other.
だからどうしても親父との会話は上っ面だけのものになる。そんな関係が自然体になっちまってるんだ。
それでも話ができるだけ血よりはマシです。
Yeah, true enough. Rain's dad is a GU army officer. I can't remember the details, but I'm quite sure her family situation is as complicated as mine.
それにしても話には聞いていましたが、コウさんがアーク社の社長と親戚とは驚きです。
For me personally, at first I also hated my dad because of what happened to my mom. But as I grow up, it's less about my mom and more the fact that he's just a shitty person. So I kind of just accepted the fact that, what happened in the past is the past, right? But I still like dislike him. Not to the point of hatred, but I still dislike him because he's just a shitty person, yeah.
俺もたまに妙な気分になるよ。一番世話になった親戚のイメージと世間でいう AI 派の大御所のイメージが結びつかなくてさ。
But yeah, I think I used to somewhat hate my dad with the same reasons that Ko had for hating his dad, which is, not as if like my mom was dead and then he didn't come, but the way he handled with my mom's passing about just finding another wife very quickly. It's just like, damn, what a very shallow human being.
世話にはそういえば可愛がってくれた親戚がいるとか大佐が言っておられましたね。
ああ、アキネーのことか。
I wonder what she's up to now. What should we talk about when we meet?
先方に連絡を入れておいた方がいいのでは？せっかく本社まで行ったのに会津じまいでは寂しいですし。
Rain smiles, clearly understanding what I'm feeling.
そうだな。
Figuring I'll say hi over a call first, I run the appropriate tool.
アーク社所属西野亜紀さんのアドレスを検索しました。接続しますか？
ああ、頼む。
Is she not gonna pick up? The line connects a few seconds later, and a semi-transparent silhouette of Aki gets projected into my vision.
誰？
Her appearance is extremely familiar. She's changed so little that it makes my heart ache.
お久しぶり、アキネ。
Why would you, receive a call that you don't know who it is from? I get no response. Is there a fault somewhere? Is she not hearing me or something? No, that's not the case here. She sighs and starts muttering something to herself.
これは単なるファイトアウト。考えてみれば最近は売りっぱなしだし。
相変わらずネットにダイブしっぱなしなんだね。
でもこんな幻覚見れるならいいかも。
俺は幻覚じゃないって。
I'm definitely pretty interested in Aki myself, but as I said, or not as I said, but my interest in all of these characters never seem to actually be for romance. I'm just interested in what her thought process is like.
幻覚が自己否定した。すごい。
あのね、ご 無沙汰してたのは悪かったけど、俺からの通話がそんなに信じられない出来事かい？
だってこうはまさか本物。
当たり前だよ。化けて出たりするもんか。
Aki's face becomes strained, but then the visual stream gets cut off.
バカ。お知らず。
Then all I hear is her tearful voice.
ごめん、アキネ。
本当にバカ。信じられない。
本当にごめん。いきなりで驚かせたよな。実はこれからアーク本社に行く用事があるんだけどさ。説教されに行っていいかな。俺、アキネに会いたくて。
来て。アーバルシティで待っているから。
ああ、わかった。じゃあ、積もる話はその時に。
Still hiding her face, Aki cuts the line. The fact that I'm about to meet Aki is making me feel something strong. I guess that's somewhere deep inside. I always wanted to see her.
連絡は取れたみたいですね。
ああ、じゃあ行こうか。
We resume walking through the town.
それは詭弁だ。君の発言には全く誠意が感じられない。
This is that other guy. The other guy that was against Anon. I actually forgot his name. We arrive downtown and hear loud voices resound throughout the street. The guy was making a speech about knowing about Anon's secret.
君こそ建前ばかり並べおって身のある討論をする気はないのかね。
街頭演説。いや、討論番組の生中継か？
そのようですね。ちょっと見ていきますか、注意。
ああ、そうだな。
We start walking where the voices are coming from. We follow them to a large screen on the side of the main street.
君は今さらナノ物質を禁止して食料と資源を枯渇させ医療システムを崩壊させるべきだと。そうは言っておらん。ただ現状より厳しい規制をナノ関連の企業に要求すべきだと言っている。
We mix into the crowd and look up at the screen. Two suited men are having a debate. Their identities are displayed below them. One is the head of the council's pro-AI faction and the current Minister of Defense of the city, Mayor Anon. The other one, there we go, Yoniuchi, is one of the council's anti-AI elite and the one who has connections to the GU army, Councilor Yoniuchi. They're the representatives of two opposing groups, and I've heard they've been having debates like this for a while.
旧統合軍地下施設の廃棄放置が市の環境悪化の一因となっているのだぞ。これこそ統合の怠慢の象徴だ。何を言う。犯罪の温床である無名都市をネット上で野放図にさせていることの方が問題だ。現状の CDF の能力には大変疑問を覚える。話をすり替えるな。今も市内にあふれる難民をナノマシンの恩恵なしに一体どう食わせていくつもりだ。仮想に逃げ出して現実を見ようとしない若者に職を与えることの方が先決だろう。
Man, I never believe anything that politicians say. I feel like everything out of their mouths is just lies. Way to feign actually caring about the society and people, you know? All they care about is just themselves. I care about myself more than other people, but at least I'm honest about it.
君、いい加減にしたまえ。貴様、今日という今日は。
The angered counselor throws the water from his cup all over his opponent and turns the debate show into a pro wrestling stream.
やれやれ、あれでは全く論戦になっていません。
まったくだな。
Meeting Chinatsu already, huh? First time we meet Chinatsu is always during that time at the raid when we try to go to the sex like a workhouse place with the NPCs. Either that or after as there was a riot here in this place, right, in Suzushiro. I was looking at Rain as we talked, so I accidentally bumped into someone.
ああ、すみません。大丈夫。
いや、こっちもよそ見をしていたから。
The woman's eyes opened wide in surprise.
千夏か？
Her name escapes my lips. She and I just look at each other. I haven't heard from her since Great Christmas. The fact that we met here of all places surprises me. But more than that...
千夏？千夏なんだろ？俺だよ、俺。門倉こうだよ。
My heart is suddenly filled with joy. I actually got to see her again. I try to put my hand on her shoulder, but...
もちろん覚えてるよ、こう。
Same reaction though. She avoids it in a manner that makes me feel like she hates me.
すまん。つい。
久しぶりだね。私も嬉しいよ。
Did we actually have sex though with Chinatsu? I mean, it's kind of implied that we dated and we kind of got to like at least third base maybe? But I don't know whether or not we had sex with Chinatsu before, you know, going out with Sora and then having sex with Rain, thinking that she was Sora. Chinatsu looks at her fingertips and speaks with a flat, emotionless voice. Just like in our school years, she has a ponytail trailing behind her. However, the general feel about her seems to have changed. The constant smile on her face was now replaced by a gloomy expression.
しかし、鈴代市にいたとはな。今はここで暮らしているのか？
まあね。
She answers curtly and without even looking at my eyes. Her cold reaction freezes the joy I feel from meeting her again.
千夏。
A memory from my last Christmas goes through my mind.
いいから黙って受け取って。クリスマスプレゼントにちょっとした希望をちょうだい。これがもう最後のチャンスだから。
I still have no idea why all these girls actually like Ko. There's no redeeming quality about him. That Christmas is lost. Not because I didn't pick Chinatsu, but because it was painted gray. However, I still don't know what happened to Chinatsu back then.
じゃあこう。
Without even having a proper talk with me, Chinatsu starts walking away.
待てよ、千夏。久しぶりに会ったんだ。話をしていかないか？
ごめん。私今忙しいんだ。
じゃあ、俺の今の連絡先だけでも受け取ってくれ。それぐらいは構わないだろ。
Okay, the same thing happens though.
もちろん。
I send her my Karakura transportation card and instantly get an address back.
これって、千夏の連絡先か？
私忙しいからなかなか繋がらないと思うけど。
Hearing her words makes me heave a sigh of relief. She's probably just being polite, but at least it doesn't look like she wants to cut all ties with me.
じゃあね、こう。
And so she runs away without looking back.
注意。今の女性、昔のお知り合いですよね。
After not saying a word during mine and Chinatsu's exchange, Rain finally speaks up in a mild tone.
ああ、学園時代の友達さ。昔お前にも少し話をしたことがあるはずだ。一緒に趣味クラブのチームを組んでいた。
ええ、覚えています。確か、渚千夏さんでしたよね。
I actually don't even know her last name.
さすがだな。すごい記憶力だ。
I, on the other hand, still have holes all over my own head. It's almost like the Swiss cheese you see in manga.
面会の時刻が迫っています。注意。
そうだな。急ごう。
I think I'm gonna end the episode after we talk to Ansera, before we talk to Aki. You're probably gonna talk to Ansera first, I
でかく
assume.
なったもんだよな。おばさんの会社も。
I look over it and sigh. Ark's main building is a gigantic construction on the outskirts of the city. Its smooth walls look like shiny marble, but... shiny marble? Why isn't it shiny marbles?
結合超密素材。核や軍具ニールの直撃以外ではびくともしなさそうですね。
軍事施設並みだな。おばさんも随分と羽振りが良さそうだ。
We entered a giant office building. The people are scarce, or is it scarce? I think it's scarce. And there's silence all around us. The hallways are windowless and seem to extend forever.
幻想的な光景ですね。ここが仮想空間と錯覚してしまいそうです。
おばさんの親族の趣味なんだ。あっちとこっちの境界をあえて曖昧にするような様式でね。
そうなんですか。
さてと、しかしどっちに行けばいいんだ。
門倉光様、前方の通路を右にお曲がりください。
ちゃんとモニターしてくれているようですね。
Rain's voice echoes throughout the deserted hallway. This inorganic scene looks somewhat like the Nishino residence. Back when I was a kid, Aki led me by the hand and... Flashback?
来る。だったら逃避すればいい。
No, continuation of that flashback.
逃避ってどういう意味？
これ、私たちはセカンドだから。
Escapism isn't good though, Aki. Aki presents me with a neurojack.
ダイブしろってこと？
こうも移植処置は終わってる。違う？
Of course, by this point, my brain chip was already fully functional. But I guess back when I was younger, how I cope and how I run away from my problems was through video games. Because, you know, back when you were a kid, just playing video games, having something that you're into, the time just goes by, right? The nanomachines injected into the brain when you're an infant form a biochip in the brain and eventually make a neurojack.
だけど、ダメだよ。できないよ、そんなこと。
どうして？もしかして童貞？
I mean, we're 10. We're like 12 maybe at most. The fuck?
何？童貞って。
没入未体験者。まだ潜ったことのない人のこと。
Sure, whatever you say, Aki.
授業じゃ何回か没入したけど。
They knew what they were doing when they made that sentence.
授業？学習用のローカルネットなんてただのおもちゃ。
Aki lightly scoffs at them.
行こう。本当のネットを教えてあげる。
でも、僕らまだ子供だし、学校の外でダイブするときは保護者が一緒じゃないと。
Yeah, that's true. Children are very likely to get scammed and fooled by a lot of people.
私、保護者。
Aki forces the neurojack into me. The code jack pushes open the artificial muscle, and the chill makes me let out a yelp. I think I said this, but the neurojack thing kind of seems like, or is pretty similar to what Reva Tales have in Artanelico. They have like an opening to insert like these things called Grathnode crystals or whatever that extends their life. Because Reva Tales are not really human. They're kind of like I guess you can say they're like aliens or something.
ごめん、変な声出ちゃって。
One of these days I have to like do a let's play of Artanelico. I really love the series. I'm embarrassed. Unable to look at her face, I hang my head in shame. I don't know what she's thinking, but she starts repeatedly moving the neurojack in and out. Is this supposed to simulate like, you know, whatever?
ちょっと待って。あのさ、やめろって言ってるじゃないか。
Aki comes back to her senses and stops.
ごめん。
あのね、人の体で遊ばないでほしいな。ぬいぐるみじゃないんだから。
理解してる。ぬいぐるみよりよっぽど。
よっぽど何？
なんでもない。
She now inserts the whole neurojack as if it's no big deal. Aki connects the other end of the wire to herself and partly closes her eyes.
今度は何をしているの？
適正調査。こうはまだワイヤレスは無理。けどワイヤードならいけそう。
いけそうって？
Another new sensation makes me raise my voice.
静かに。今インストール中。
The brain chip is activated and a program is written into it. As I am now, I know the feeling well, but back then, it completely surprised me. What, is she installing like a wireless driver into me? It's not a natural sensation, but your mind can just feel the progress bar get filled up.
これって一体何をインストールしているの？
ライブ用ツール。
I still don't know if we should leave into the outer net. Overcome by a mix of worry and excitement, I begin to shake.
怖い？
そりゃ。
大丈夫。
Aki grasps my hand as I hear a machine voice whisper from the inside of my head. My and Aki's chips are now linked. The data flowing in feels like a pulse. So this is what being a second gen feels like. This was the first time I truly realized that my brain is a biomachine.
怖がらないで。これは何億もの人が体験したプロセス。戻ってこられなかった人はいない。
I mean, I don't know. What if at some point we do live to the point where we can just put our memories inside of a brain chip? And then with cloning, like we can have eternal life at some point. I personally feel like I don't want to have an eternal life. I feel like if I die, I just want to die. Like, I grew up in a Buddhist family, and the cycle of life is an actual thing. It seems in the Buddhist teaching, right? Reincarnation or whatever. And the only time that you don't reincarnate is when you reach enlightenment. That's actually what I want to achieve, I guess. I don't want to live in this world. That's really my one and true wish. But that doesn't mean I want to die too, right? I mean, I don't want to like die a meaningless death, I guess. I want my life to mean something. Not to anyone, but to me. You know? I don't care what anyone thinks about my life. It's all about you at the end of the day, right? It's about your own opinion.
でも、たまに戻ってこない人がいるって。
それは戻れなくなるようなことをしたから。あっちはここと違ったもう一つの世界。別のルールが存在するもう一つの空間。
I don't think you should need to have an there. Aki closes her mouth as if she's tired of speaking. She stares at me with her doll-like face.
ルールなんて言われてもわからないけど、無茶をしちゃいけないってこと？
そう。
She nods at me.
ダイブ。
Suddenly, my consciousness is blown away to an impossible direction. Before I realize it, I'm standing in a world I'm seeing for the first time. The sky isn't blue and doesn't have any stars. There's just a shining grid. We're in a structure bigger than a mountain, and there are countless people flying around like angels.
これがあっち側？
It's nothing like the one in school.
Go.
I turn around and see Aki. Her hair is flying about the space behind her. She's smiling at me. That expression makes it seem like going to cyberspace was like dropping a heavy weight for her.
ようこそ。ここが私たちの世界。
Oh yeah, this was actually the first time I ever saw her make a gentle expression.
ハローワールド。注意。
Rain's voice brings me back from the flashback.
すまん、考え事をしていた。
ならいいのですが、目的地に着いたようですよ。
右手のドアからお入りください。立花社長がお待ちです。
Guiding by that machine voice. Guiding? I think it's supposed to be guided. By that machine voice, we enter the room where my aunt awaits. Beyond the door lies an absolutely gigantic space. Its metal walls and internal structures stretch out as far as the eye can see. It's an all too massive man-made space, almost like a space colony of sorts.
俺は見覚えがあるな。アーク社の構造体内部なんじゃないか？
いつの間にかダイブさせられています。扉をくぐった後、強制的に没入させられたようですね。
I remember that happening too in the first route. Even Rain's got cold sweat pouring down her forehead at all this.
電脳化された人間しかこの先には行けないってことだな。
If Art can force people to dive, then they surely have a log of all we do here. It also means that they're observing our bodies soon.
まったく完璧な保安対策だよ。
注意してください。
No security is perfect, Ko.
リミッターの影響範囲外のようですから。
We cautiously walk down a passage. I can see a giant iris bulb at the end of it. Going by the structures around it, it probably has a diameter of a few hundred virtual meters.
さすがバーチャル最大の企業ですね。州の SQAI の管理を任されているだけあります。
おばさんは AI の申し子みたいな人だからな。
She was among the first to go through the treatment to connect to the AI 24/7. In a way, she's like a pioneer for us second gens. She then used that ability to build up Arc in just one generation. She's a legendary woman in terms of both her administrative and scientific skills. It's strange to think that such a person is my mother's little sister.
失礼します。
I clear my throat and open the door. Within that sparkling crystal palace stands Sarah Tachibana, looking the same as ever.
お久しぶりね、コウさん。
She greets me with an aloof voice. Her eyes are pointed in my general direction, but it feels like she is looking past me and gazing into the distance.
ご無沙汰しています。おばさん。
Overwhelmed by her presence, I inadvertently give her a deep bow.
遅いぞ。どこで道草を食っていた？
Oh, you're here too.
おいおい、なんで親父がここにいるんだ？
没入したからに決まってるだろう。そして俺もここに野暮用があったのさ。
俺にはアークにお使いに行けと言っていたくせに。
息子にデートをさせてやろうとの心遣いだ。ま、そう受け止めておいてくれ。
しかし、親父がわざわざ来るってことは、
親戚として世間話をしに来たわけじゃないんだな、これが。
そう、フェンリルのクライアントは我々、アーク社。そして、この私。
She stares at me with her crystalline eyes. No matter how hard I look into them, I can't read her intentions at all. My old man stares at me, not saying a word. Crap. I guess he's trying to get me to understand the situation by letting Aunt Sarah herself tell me all about it.
不思議に思っているでしょうね。民間企業の我々がなぜ彼らを追っているか。
ええ、まあそうですね。
Then again, modern multi-state corporations have more power than the weaker state governments. Larger PMCs have also have more power than the weaker state armies. Nation-states of old are losing their grip over the world. Now it's the GU, corporations, and certain other players that have it in hand.
私たちはどうしても栗原直樹を捕まえなければならないの。
理由を尋ねてもいいですか？
因縁かしらね。
That's not scientific. That's not logical. Destiny. They're not in this to stop Assembler's outflow? I see she still likes being mysterious. I turn to my old man and see that he's now making a stern, bitter expression.
他に何か聞いておきたいことはあるかしら。
What the fuck sort of answer is that? That is some question considering she still hasn't told me anything specific. But since we both share a goal in finding Drexler, I'll use Ark's information just like Fenrir, and Ark will use me as a soldier.
とりあえずだ。お前と霧島醤油はフリータイムだ。適当に待機しておけ。
基地に戻らなくていいのですか？
休暇をやると言っただろう。今のうちに休んでおけ。 今にきっと寝る暇もなくなる。
What about my question? He grimaces and leaves.
アキさんにはあったかしら。
いえ、これから会いに行くところですけど。
そう。あの子は我が社自慢の仮想空間都市による。きっとコウさんも気に入ってくれると思うわ。あなたもね、霧島レインさん。
Suddenly pulled into the conversation, Rain blinks in surprise.
はい、ぜひ。
じゃあ失礼します。
We leave the room together.
待って、霧島レインさん。
はい、何でしょうか。
あなたにはコウさんが随分お世話になったようね。ありがとう。おばとして礼を言わせてもらうわ。
いえ、周囲は私の恩人ですから。
忘れないで。あなた自身もコウさんの恩人。ひいては私の恩人なのです。
Okay. You're being kind of weird, but alright.
ありがとうございます、セイラ社長。
Rain forms a faint smile and bows. Aunt Sarah looks at her, and for some reason, I feel like her gaze is sad. I think that happened in the original too. But alright. I did say I was gonna end the episode once we talked to Aunt Sarah. I thought it was gonna be a lot more dialogue, but turns out she really just, you know, told us that she's the client and that was it. She didn't even give us any sort of answer about the reason why she wants to get Drexler. Destiny my ass. Is that what the AI is telling you? It's destiny? Fuck that. Is that what the AI tell you to when you're supposed to, when you told those other aunt and uncles to adopt me and Aki? Like, no wonder they were fucking fighting. What sort of answer is that? That's garbage. The least you could do is actually made up something. Jeez. But I guess she doesn't lie, or I don't know. But that's still... that answer is so weird. Like, I'm just supposed to accept that? That's no way. There's no way I'm gonna accept destiny as an answer. But okay. Yeah, today we kind of, like, fumble around doing a lot of the... like, skipping most of the, like, old dialogue, trying to get to this part. But I guess that's gonna be a staple on these new routes. Because there is an actual common route in the game, it seems like, right? I'm guessing Aki's route also is gonna have something similar, and then Makoto's route. See, the thing is, I don't know whether or not Dive 2 is gonna be a whole separate game by itself after we do all 5 routes or what. So, this game, there might still be like a lot of content left of this game. I might be... yeah, I'm not even close to finishing Dive 1, huh? If there's still Aki's and also Makoto's. I'm like, what, 50 hours into the game? 40 hours something? Pretty crazy if you think about the amount of, like, content in this old game. But okay, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. YouTube members will be getting these early access but nothing uncensored. But no worries, as per usual. You really wouldn't be seeing any sort of H-scene or H-content in this series until very late throughout the route. At the very least, chapter 10 plus, right? Also, for people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's going to be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Okay. I'll be doing one more Baldr Sky episode tomorrow for people on Patreon. But yeah, after that we'll be doing some more Amayui. Amayui, I just hope that I'm gonna be done with that very soon. At this point, I'm just kind of tired of Amayui. I mean, I'm already disappointed with Amayui, right? I feel like I've already like put a number in my experience for Amayui. Gameplay's good, story's bad, characters became one-dimensional, and that's it. Kind of sad what it turned into, but hey. It's not as if the developers were different or the publisher is different. It's the same company. And they ruined the game. Alright, see you guys.